Welcome to the African American Museum in Lakeland. And today, gosh, you talk about being uplifted and stressing and non-stressing and having something to do to kind of just chill out, whether it's gardening or whether it's just sitting at home listening to some beautiful music, meditating, whatever it may be. But today, we're going to talk about this wonderful linen scents that Miss Claudia Noble-Levingston is going to just really get into the properties of that. But before I introduce her, my special guest, I'm going to talk a little bit about AMLO. And I see some many familiar faces, and then I see some that are not too familiar. So if you've heard this before, bear with me, okay? Probably some of you probably come up and do this intro yourself. Probably heard it that many times. So, but that's okay. All right, we are a research institution for African American history and culture. I'm Minnesota Museum Project Coordinator. I've been here a little while, you know. I'll tell you more about that later. That's another story. But today, it's really been one of those days where you want to say, well, let's have something good to happen today. This is it. This event is something that's good happening today. And you being here is what's making this good as well. So, AMLO has 4 departments here. We have a library, which is a reference library, we call it, not circulating. Anybody knows what that means? Are you a librarian? Okay, I always have to ask that because librarians know everything. Every time I say something, oh yeah, I got it, okay. So I was just checking. That's right, you can't see that here. However, the team here, so professional, they're just wonderful. If you see a title or a book that you're interested in at this institution, we will go online and we will see if we can find it at another nearby library in Oakland. Put it on hold for you. That's how good we are. That's how kind we are. Put it on hold, and that means that nobody can check that book out because it's been waiting for you to pick up. Okay. So the library has over 16,000 titles on African American history and culture. And that does not include the rare book collection, which the oldest one we have here, I believe, is 1815. And it's not a book per se, it's a journal of a Navy captain, okay? And he talks about an African American who he refers to as the cook aboard this ship. That's the oldest one that we have. The rare books are stored in a temperature-controlled environment, and you can guess why. Because, of course, those pages are going to start deteriorating. So our theme here, our mission is to preserve African American history and culture. And I must say, we do it quite well. So the library, reference library, over 16,000 books, rare book collection, not downstairs. It's upstairs in a temperature-controlled environment. Now, let's go to the archives department. The archives department, we have pretty close to about 200 collections here. Collections such as Ron Dell's, when he was in Congress for 23 years. His papers or documentations are here. Congresswoman Barbara Lee's collection here. We share her collection with Mills College because she's a graduate of Mills College. And so we thought it would be fair to just kind of share her collection. We also have the first African American school teacher in Oakland Unified School District, Ms. Ivy Jackson. Her collection is here. What about the Motown designer, legendary Motown designer, who came to Oakland when he was 7 years old, had a paper route on 7th Street, went to LA, went to school, and decided to go to designing school and designed a beaded garment that was so outstanding that one of his friends said, look, one of our friends going to the Motown Gala, she needs a dress. So Henry Yoder said, well, I've got a dress. So So she goes by Henry Dillon's shop, and she puts on the dress. She goes to the gala, and who happens to see her in a beautiful dress? The Motown executive. And so she says, who's the designer for that? And so twins, Henry Dillon, and she says, who? Never heard of Henry Dillon. I said, never heard of him, but look, here's my card. Tell them to come see me tomorrow in Motown. They loved him. He went on. That's why I call him a legend. He designed for Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, Frida Payne, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, our own Lenny Williams. He designed for him as well, and created such a wonderful collection here. We have his original gowns and original jumpsuit that Lenny wore in our collection. Each of those garments are preserved in acid-free garbage bags, which cost us $300 to $400 per bag. So we're serious about preserving African American history and culture. Let's go on with, what about Maury Turner, the legendary cartoonist? I know you heard of her, Maury Turner. He created the Whoop House. This collection is here, and he had his original sketches, how he started with black and white sketches on a piece of paper, just a little piece of paper like this. And then he went on and then made some major, beautiful collections from black and white to color. We have his original, all his original work that is here. So we're talking about preserving the history here. That is what we do. Now, the archives department is by appointment only. That's because some of the collection is stored off-site in a controlled environment. So if you call here and say, oh, well, I want to see a collection of Maury Turner, perhaps we might have what you're interested in, maybe here in the third floor here. There is a third floor. Most people don't know that. That is where some of the collection is stored. So now the next department, one of my favorites department, in the news department. And we'll see you gotta look. If you haven't seen it, then listen out. You gotta see it before you leave. All the seeds in there are non-GMO or organic. I designed it a few years ago, and I really my expert person to help me as far as what seeds, when you plant seeds, what seeds should I have in here? So I found my expert, and she doesn't want me to say that, but you know, for me, she's my expert gardener. She has actually says she refers to herself, she's a bird gardener. Yeah, but I see my expert. So she and I work days and days to bring that seedling library to the community. So if you haven't seen it, go in and check it out. All the seeds free to the public. You're gonna love it, okay? So what you learned today, I'm sure Ms. Levingston is going to talk about the seed library today as well, and hopefully you come by and visit as well. So, the Seed Living Library, we want to come up to the gallery last year. The museum gallery, sometimes we host traveling exhibitions, but most of the exhibitions are created by myself or the chief curator here. So we had the last exhibit here was a quote exhibit. Some of you might have seen it. So in the center, that's where we change out the exhibits. To my right, to my left, and these huge banners that you see on the perimeter of the room, this is called the Visions Toward Tomorrow. It is our permanent exhibition, the history of Oakland, beginning in the 1800s. A lot of things that you see here, you won't see them anywhere else. You want to talk about Oakland? This is the place to go. You got the kiosk to the left, to the right, east wing, west wing, perimeter, all about Oakland. So that gives you a little bit of insight of what we have going here. And feel free to come by and just check out the resources. The beautiful murals that you see over the staircase by two Oakland local artists, Patricia Montgomery and Danielle Calfans. So check out our murals too. So that gives you a little overview of what we're going on here. And Marco, I think, what about the tours? Say something about the tours to our guests before I introduce our special guest.
We do tours on Saturdays at noon, which are drop-in tours, and then the tours during the week are by appointment, so you can schedule group tours during that time.
Yes, yes. And Marco is, well, he's not really, I don't call him a tour guide because he's far beyond a tour guide. He's like my right hand, he's a library assistant here, almost 8 years long as I have. He started as a TPT, temporary part-time, and he's come a long way, and you know what, we've been together a long time, and so I was taught that all of you just really appreciate for him staying here in Amber. And we had a lot of challenges, but we overcome them, we'll still overcome them. So now let's get to why I'm here. Not to hear me talk. This young lady that I'm going to introduce you to, she is totally amazing. I host her workshops here. I used to do them quite often, and she got pretty busy. I am so ecstatic about having her back here to do my workshops because she really gets into meat of herbs. I mean, she explains it. And what you learned today about lemon, oh my goodness, she shared some of the things she's going to talk about to me, which I didn't know, so you're going to enjoy this. So she is, I'll say this correctly, she is a urban gardener and the founder of Cultivating Gardens. And she's also the president of the Friends Stewards of Animals. So if you're not a member, you know she's here today. Become a member. I think my commercial rate is 15 for seniors and 25 for individuals. So think about that also. But getting back to Cultivating Gardens, founded, she'll tell you when she's the proper date, but proper date that Cultivating was founded. But today, we're going to learn something you probably didn't know. I've always learned something from her. I want to thank her in front of all of you for being with me when I was curating the Seaman Library and her guidance on herbs. It's just wonderful working with her. So, put your hands together for the one only founder and urban gardener, but my expert in gardening, Miss Claudia Noble-Levingston. Claudia, come on out. Thank you. You're welcome.
Is this mic on?
Oh, yes.
It is. Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Oh, that's okay. I think I'll just try it out. Yes, for now. I'll let you know if things change.
Okay.
Thank you again. Welcome. It's always a pleasure to be here at AMLO. AMLO, being the unique library in the city of Oakland, has a lot of treasures. And one thing that I really like about it is the fact that the institution is a representation of our history and culture. So whenever I present here, I like to bring that part of me. As you see me, but to know me is to know that I am proud to be who and what I am. And as a result of my ancestors that came before me, and I bring that knowledge today. And I hope that you all are willing to share your experiences too with gardening and using herbs. Any of you do gardening? That's interest of some sort, right? Okay, what about herbs? Herbalism, using herbs, making your own teas, all of that's fun. Yes. So I have a little slide presentation that I will cue my assistant to start. But I do want to know a little bit more about you. Tell me, what herbs do you grow?
Basil, rosemary. I probably grow dill, but it goes wild. And well, I handle it, I have
A lot of
hard.
Let us know.
Tell us what we can do.
I'm just thinking, what maybe you said it was too dried out?
Yeah, I think that's what it may have been. I think I had too much sun on it. But I thought they thrived in that.
And it's in the ground.
I didn't have it in a
pot
ground.
container or?
I had it in a wine crate.
In a crate?
So it had about this much soil. I don't know.
I don't know either. I have to think about it and just,
Even my
because-
cilantro did the same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing, dried out, and just, especially my cilantro had a lot of flowers.
Yes.
And I know you're supposed to cut those off, the same with basil because it's stunning them, but.
Yes, same,
know.
same. Yeah, it's bolting.
Mhm.
That's what's happening. Well, I'll think about that and, those problems with the mint. Because, there's so many varieties of mint too that we didn't have growing up. We just said, well, that's mint, you know, but it's peppermint, and they combine and they create hybrids of it. One that I call chocolate mint, you know, and just different ones. So they may not, each one may have a different growing condition. But I know moist soil, but not too moist. Don't let it dry out. But it's a hardy plant. That's the only thing I want to say about mint for now.
Yeah.
Unless we're going to talk about lemon mint. Because there's lemon scented mint too. Because they can create the culture, I forgot the name of it. Cultivators of plants can create a hybrid of a plant combining, like for example, Myers lemons is a hybrid. The lemon and the mandarin orange. So the sweet, that's why it's sweeter than the lemons that we do, Eureka lemons. Right. So we're going to talk about lemons today, but I'll just say, almost any plant can be cultivated in that lemon scent or the lemon essence, which is what I brought today. And I'll tell you a little background for me. Lemons, they make me feel a certain way. And the scent of lemon, I realized I was attracted to that. And so I started, I must have an affinity for lemons, the lemon scent. Then I started to think about, well, how does it make me feel? So it makes me feel refreshed, uplifted. The scent in my home, clean, you know, those different things. So scents can change your mood. And then I started, wow, wouldn't it be great to have a workshop that speaks on the scent or aromatherapy, if you will. And I said, well, let me see what plants have that lemon scent. And lemon balm is one that we'll talk about. Lemongrass, you start to think about it. Lemon verbena makes a wonderful tea. Lemon thyme, which I was looking for some seeds to break, but I wasn't able to find. So we'll be getting some more seeds downstairs later on. We'll make you aware of where the seeds come from. Lemon thyme. But I did find the plants. So even if now just rub your hands on the plant and smell, you get a little bit of the lemon scent in the plants. I found that to be relaxing for me. So I was just trying to figure out things. You know, what do you think? When you touch lemon, or the scent of, what does that speak to in you? So when you sniff that herb, what do you think? How do you feel? How do you feel? Relax. How do you feel? Energized. Energized. How do you feel?
I want to create some.
So you're gonna drive to do some cleaning. You can come to my house, okay? How do you feel? lady. The lemon, I didn't even get a chance to pass it. The scent from memory or just, it brings about a memory for me. Cleaning is one. Because growing up, my mom had us polishing furniture. The lemon pledge. You know? So it's like, yes.
Make you feel
Happy. Oh, wonderful. How does it make you feel?
fresh.
Fresh.
It also makes me want to do something like that. Where can we put this?
And something to eat. Like lemon bars or lemon pound cake. So those memories, yeah. Those happy memories. My assistant, with this lemon, you feel lemon. You're hungry. So that's what started the whole thing. I mean, thinking about the aroma of lemon and how it can change your mood. There's a lot that goes on in our lives. You can create your own aromatherapy with plants, with, spices in your kitchen, with fruits. Those are some of the things I bring today to show you how to do that. Also, I'll just mention that some of the hands-on that you'll do today, you'll be able to take home and make your own, if you will, a simmer pot. Have you ever done that? A simmer pot on your stove, and water, and you add, we're adding lemon. We have some orange slices. We have some rosemary that is, you can add cinnamon if you will. It does make you hungry, huh? And it makes you feel good. And it's just to know that you have the power to change your mood, to uplift yourself and others in your garden. Those gifts are there for you to use. So that's the preface of why I thought lemons would be nice to bring. And another thought came to mind is when my great nieces were young, I used to have them in my garden, and I'd say, touch that, rub it, now smell. That's what I'm lemon. They're thinking, this is all a lemon is, but to touch a plant, oh my gosh, this discovery of that, and the science and biology behind that. Matter of fact, one of my nieces went to school, what's that school, university in South Carolina area. Davis. For biology and chemistry. Started from her being in the garden, ready to have her grandmother. And I just was curious, so it can be so many different places. So, that's how it started for me as far as thinking about what does lemon do for me, and then to maybe become more aware of finding plants that you may want to consider your plant ally or something that makes you feel it will work with you. So we'll start our presentation. Can I turn it on? I'm gonna have to come to this side because I like I'm gonna go over here. So I will block because I cannot. Okay. So the objective of today will be that I have no introduce you briefly, introduce yourself, but the affinity, my opinion, colors and lemon, and the different types of lemons. I have a few that I brought with me, and the lemon scented herbs, the benefits of growing your own urban garden, and how to use some of the lemons for your health and wellness, with more hands-on, to be able to create your own aromatherapy, your slow top little simmering ingredients for you to take home. And we'll talk about medicine making. Thank you. Okay, and then we can go to the seed library and see if you can plant some seeds. Next one. So I like to always start my presentations by talking Carter was a botanist, an inventor, farmer, and plant doctor. So I always like to remember those that came before, those lessons that we learned that are still being used today. You think of the peanuts, sweet things, things like that. But he did so much more. The next person in the center, I recently started learning about her when I was doing her herbalism classes. Emma Dupree, she's a herbalist, a traditional healer. We call her the real medicine thing. And she was always curious about plants and how they can be used for our health and wellness. And her quote is, her quote, all that we see, everything that is growing in the earth, is healing to the nation of any kind of disease. And that's her quote, Emma Dupree. She was born and was an provincial herbalist in North Carolina, eastern North Carolina. She was also a midwife. As a child, she would run through the forest and just gather herbs and plants and would just, taste them, and then just knowing that it was just something in her that she was drawn to the plants. And some of us, that's what we do. And then the third person is my father, Claudia Noble-Levingston. He was the son of a southern black farmer in Louisiana, proud black man, husband, father, grandfather, and he was always gardening when I was younger. I thought it was my mother's garden, but it's actually my father's garden. So I found that out probably 5 years ago. My mother said, "No, was it my garden?" I thought it was. And my mother does more gardening now because she retired. There's something that she was able to do. And she will be 92 this year. That's my mother. So I always like to remember and honor my ancestors because of the strength and the lessons, wisdoms that they left us with. And a quote, when we take care of the land will take care of us. Right? No matter how much space you have, take care of it. So lemons, there are a lot of different types of lemons. The ones that we had most often growing up, throughout the neighborhoods and everyone's backyard, was a Eureka lemon. Eureka lemons are the ones that you most often find in the stores. And I'll pass it around. It's Eureka lemons. And then you come back to me. That's one. Next, please. I have her multitasking. Okay, they originated, thought to be originated in northern India, the Himalayan hills, and they're commonly known as Eureka. You may find Meyer lemons, Lesma, Rush. They're part of the root family. So that's a Eureka lemon that just passed around. I should give you something to gather with, huh? I have a little Myers lemon tree. This year they're acting a little funny though. They're not turning yellow. They're like still a lot of green on them. I can't figure out why. I was looking at something, I don't know, online. Person said that their lemons are green. And maybe for the growing season, we need to apply more fertilizer. So I'm trying to mix them out. But that's how they're coming out like that. With the Meyer lemons. It is. It's got quite a few, but they're slow in turning yellow. Last year they different. Nature right? You don't know. Our climate change. So the large lemons are softer skin and they're sweeter. And as I mentioned before, they are hybrid. Yeah. Another lemon that I brought to show you the difference, my sister. I believe in using my resources. My sister has this strange looking lemon tree I had never seen before. I was kind of afraid of them. I said, oh God, something's wrong. But they're called rough lemons. They look rough too. They are rough. Something's wrong, huh? No, those are how they are. They're rough looking. They're thick skinned. They don't have much juice, but they're mostly used for their zest. So if you understand, if you're cooking and you're making your own hot simmer, using the zest, the essential oil is in the skin. So different types of lemon are used for different things, and commercially in our local markets, you don't have much of a choice. But if you go to a farmer's market or a produce place that has a more larger variety, you begin to realize that it's more than just two types of lemons. So if you grow, you can grow your own type that you want. So with that, I was like, okay, it smells lemony, doesn't it? Even more so than the other one. It's in the skin, the oil. And the parts of the plants that we use, the juice, the rind, flowers, leaves, fruit, we use it for culinary and non-culinary purposes, and it has medicinal properties. And the essential oil and the aroma compounds are what's most often used. Cosmetics. Just think about all those things that lemons are used for. Making tea, added to your, we use lemons a lot growing up. Making iced tea with our lemon. We also made our hot toddies when we weren't feeling well for cold and flu. And at that time was the only time we got a chance to have alcohol because they would add the whiskey or the rum, or not the rum, but the bourbon to the hot toddy. That was the only time. And then the health benefits of lemons help to strengthen our immunity. Lemons and protect us against colds and flus, inflammation, helps with constipation and digestion, helps you to break down the food, especially oily foods. And it acts as an antioxidant to help reduce cholesterol, and is known to cleanse the blood, nutrient-rich with lots of vitamins and minerals. It's also used in food preservatives. And if you think about it, when you cut an avocado open, what happens? It begins to turn brown, black, like the oxidation effect. But if you put lemon on it, that will definitely slow it down. You notice that? Have you all noticed? Anyone else? Yes. That's when you make your guacamole, you don't want it black. You want it to be green as possible. Adding lemon or lime, citrus, acidic. Kind of does the same thing to your body too, because the lemon, even though it's acid, in our bodies it's more alkaline. Used in deodorants, cleansers, when you thought about cleaning the house. Now that plant is hiding what else is there. But it's a great source of vitamin C, which we all know. Lemon scented herbs, okay? So I mentioned some earlier. The most popular lemon scented plants are some of the ones I mentioned: lemon balm, lemon grass, lemon scented geranium. I have an orange scented geranium, but they have lemon too. Lemon thyme, lemon verbena, bee balm. Just recently got into bee balm. Does anyone know what bee balm is, or wild bergamot? My grandmother talked about wild bergamot And that's what got me interested. Oh, I didn't know this about wild bergamot. I bought some. I had been searching for a while for the plant. 2 years ago I found it. I got it to grow, it was thriving. So it's like my grandmother's talking to me. That's what I feel. It's my grandmother on my father's side. And lemon verbena is a nice one. Also, the catnip. Most of all these herbs require full sun and a well-drained soil. Lemon and lemon-scented herbs, as some of you already described how you feel. Refreshing, energizing, zesty, clean, they're invigorating, the scent makes you feel good, and very uplifting for our moods and our spirit. That one, bee balm is where we want to go. This is the next one. The lemon-scented herbs. Okay, you can use it in your recipes. You can use it in your tea, essential oils, aromatherapy. So, yeah, when I realized that I can get the scent of lemon other ways, it was like, ooh, a whole new world opened up. I thought bee balm was next. I wanted to talk about bee balm. So we'll talk about lemon. That's my grandmother's plant. That's why I can't get into it. Lemon verbena. Now that makes a very nice tea. And if you like, I'll have, later you can sample the tea. But, sorry, on this side. Lemon verbena. I'll pass it on while I'm talking. Now that has a very nice scent. It's a native to South America, and in the verbena family. Like I said, it makes a very nice tea, whether it's dry or fresh. That was a clipping, a cutting from the plant I have over here, the lemon verbena, but I also dried some so that you can see the difference. Still makes a very nice tea. This is the lemon verbena. Lemon verbena has a lot of benefits. Helps to reduce your fever, inflammation, and oxidation stress, free radical damage, reduces muscle pains, especially exercise-induced muscle damage. Well, I'm going to be recovered. My shoulder's been bothering me, and I said, oh my gosh, maybe some lemon verbena salve, something. Let's see if that'll help. It says exercise-induced, but mine wasn't exercise-induced. But I said, oh, I'll try it anyway. Yes, okay. Okay. And the nice part about it is it helps to reduce anxiety. You feel anxious. Mood enhancing effects on the central nervous system. Uplifting. Same property, same kind of thing you get from lemons. And it helps with indigestion and gas. The uses of it, you can, like I said, you can make herbal tea, you can add lemons, the lemons, the verbena to your dishes or add it to water to make infused water. Medicinally, the herb is known to have calming properties. When you took a little sniff of that, did you feel like something was calming down? And it can be used in your potpourri. You can use it to make an herb pill, use it in that pot. So many different things you can do with the herb and making your own medicine. Thank you. Lemon thyme. On your table, as I mentioned, you have a lemon thyme. And I've grown the regular thyme, which is, I brought a bunch of that today, which is take home. The lemon thyme a couple months ago, and I didn't do the workshop when I was supposed to because I wasn't feeling well. And I was like, please hold on, plant, please hold on, because it really needs to be in the ground. They're getting root down. So I'll say, not tomorrow, on Monday, they'll be planted in my garden so that they'll have room to grow and spread. And then the next time around, I'll have more herbs to make medicine. So the time itself is native to northern Africa and southern Europe. And it's in the Lebanese family. And the herbal energetics are warming. The energetics are kind of the sensations that you get from the plant. It could be cooling, spicy, hot, warm. This is more rewarding energetic. It aids in digestion, it helps to lower cholesterol, reduces sweating, and is a great herb to use during the cold and flu season. It'll help to calm the cough. There is a recipe that I'm not going to share today, so I'm not going today, but that recipe, you can make it very easy, where you can make your own syrup, thyme syrup, where you feel it scratching in your throat, but you want to catch it before, it's just thyme, water, and honey, basically. And has an astringent and antiseptic properties. Another calming remedy for the respiratory and digestive system. And it's great for oral health. You can use it as a mouthwash or a gargle. And it's known to have all these properties to provide benefits. The leaf is what's used in culinary and medicinal purposes. The tea, decoction, tincture. Have any of you tried making your own plant medicine? What have you done?
Sweet syrup, I use, I've done a blend of like rosemary oil or just ear tinctures itself. When you said the syrup, I thought of the DIY cough syrup with garlic and honey. It's really good.
That's great. Anyone else? Your name, please?
Carla.
Carla, okay. I need it for me. That's my please.
I actually use dry arnica and infuse that in some jojoba oil, just like a nice little balm to put on for pain.
Okay. That's great.
My name is Melissa.
Yes, I was thinking about that. I have some dry arnica. I was like, maybe I need that. That's as far as I got. Maybe I need that. Okay, that's on my list of things to do. The arnica, and then I've used calendula, which is great for this. That's not lemon. We don't like that. Okay, because you're a basement, huh? We'll stick to the lemons. Pain, muscle pain. Making your own salve. Healing the muscle instead of buying it, from the store. Your own. Yeah. There's a workshop on that too. In the making. Yes, next one. Now, bee balm. This is the hard way to get to. Bee balm, which is also known as next slide. Robert, but it's native to central and southern United States and northern Mexico. It can grow very wild and get tall. Mine is in a little pot, which is a little pot you kind of can't see, but the picture is the one in my garden. That's the big one. And I bought the book that I use for reference. I really love the book. It's Working the Roots by Michelle Lee. It's on the table. Well, my grandmother's in that book, and she talks about the herbs that she used growing up. And this is one of them, so I always like to bring this to my presentation. It's a spicy and warming herb. It could be used similarly, as we say, for muscle stiffness and any pain. She talked about using it as a hair conditioner. There was a hair product. It was bergamot. Gosh, can't think of it. You know the bergamot? It was called bergamot. But this is the plant that the oil is from. And when I pass it around, it will say, "Oh, I know that scent." Scent. Yes. You can make a tea from it, and it's very beneficial to help with stomach upset, digestion, has antibacterial, antifungal, and antiseptic properties. And the reference from Michelle's book is that used often in Native American and African American healing traditions. Used to flowers, leaves, essential oil, and as I said, it's a lovely tea, can be used in aromatherapy. I'll pass that around to other plants with the lights on so you can really see it. I thought about this darkening and get the full effect of the plant. Then the basil. We talk about the basil. Yeah. So I was trying to hold on to these plants and you can put it in the ground. But I kept them in a little pot I bought, starter plants. So they're struggling right now. But next one. So native to Africa and Southern Asia. And there's different names that they call it. Kori basil, Thailand basil, Laos basil. And Mrs. Burns lemon basil. I think I bought, might have left it home, I have bought Mrs. Burns lemon basil. I wanted to know, what is that about? It's a hybrid. The lady who did it, they called it out, they named it after her. The leaves get really big, but mine is because it's easy to transplant. Basil, this one has a very warming energy. And the benefits are that it can help to relieve your migraine headaches, stress, eases gasiness, stomach cramps, and constipation. It's known to relieve nausea, vomiting, and helps in nervous irritability, depression, anxiety, mood swings, and fatigue. And it's about the scent. Back to that scent that can help change your mindset, change your mood. This is not to say that if you need, what I'm trying to say is that always consult your medical practitioner before you use any of these herbs, just to be on the safe side. Because sometimes what it may do for me may not be the same for you, because our bodies are individual and how we respond. And especially if you're taking medication, it's very important. I want to make sure I say that. So the leaves and the top, flowering tops are used, and like you said, the basil, it tend to want to bolt. When those flowers come, you have to clip them off so that the plant will get bushier, more leaves. Otherwise, it's just beginning to die down. The basil. I do better with the basil in the ground than I do in the pot. Maybe it needs more root space. That's what I found. And of course, we use basil in our cooking. You can make a tea, tincture, aromatherapy. There's an inhaler of decongestion. Also, when we were growing up, my mom had what is it called? Like a diffuser, but she would put big sap in it, and then steam with the whole room up to help us to breathe, with the congestion.
Humidifier? Humidifier?
It was like a humidifier, but she called it something else. Anyway, that makes me think about that, using your plants for that reason. Because I'm standing here next to this rosemary, and it's like, I feel this whole thing up. This one. Lemon balm is that plant that I introduced to my nieces, and they were like, oh my God, it smells like lemon. Yes. Lemon balm, native to the Mediterranean region, and something got me thinking, that's wrong. The leaves, okay. We'll go down to the leaves can be used to fresh or dry, and it can make a great tea, and it's good for colds, flus, headaches. And the same, all they all have the similar properties. As you hear me repeat over and over, there's much more to this than what I have on here. You do your own research. But I messed up. I had Lady Laurel and I need to change out, so move on. Lemongrass. This one makes a really nice tea, dry or fresh. The tall plant over there is the lemongrass. That will be planted in my garden too, and I'll just bring some clippings or some tea from that. But I was holding on to the plants, and it grew a lot in the last 2 months in that pot. So just imagine, it gets pretty tall. It's a grass in the grass family. Next one. Native to Southeast Asia, Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand. It's also known as citronella fever grass. And it's a cooling plant. Have anyone ever had lemongrass tea? Yeah, how does it make you feel? Good? There are benefits. Some of them, like I said, you'll hear over again. Rich in this source of flavonoids and phenolic compounds, which contains antioxidants, effective antibacterial, antifungal agent, anti-inflammatory, known to be effective in reducing cholesterol, treat coronary heart disease. It helps to flush out toxins from the liver, kidney, and the digestive tract, and the bladder. And it helps to improve circulation and can help prevent high blood pressure. That makes me think about hibiscus. Most people want to talk about lemons, but I love hibiscus too. Which is known to help prevent high blood pressure too. Traditionally, it's used as a spice. Thai Indian cooking, and it can be made as a tea, and you can use it to make an inhalant for decongestion, like in a pot of water, if you will, like we're doing. You put that in there. And it's also an insect repellent. The smell is irritating to flies and mosquitoes. And I know that to be a fact because for the past 2 months, that plant has been on my porch. And there have been no flies around. I know basil has the same effect on if you have a problem with flies. I don't know why the flies come on my porch. But I was packing up to come here, and I was like, wait a minute, I haven't seen those flies swarming around here. So I think I'm gonna have to keep a little plant around that area. That was interesting to realize that. Was I finished talking about lemongrass? I think I did. Yes. Okay. So these are some of my favorite herbs that I like to grow in my garden. Ashwagandha, holy basil. I bought some with me because it's so calming for me. It's not lemon scented, but it's kind of minty like. And the bee balm, which is a wild bergamot. Calendula, comfrey, hibiscus. You can get a lot in a small space in your garden. Oregano is another one that I like to use. It's great. Oregano oil. You get migraine headaches. Rosemary, thyme, and then the yarrow. Those are some of the herbs that I like growing in my garden and to make some plant medicine like my salves. Yes. So these are some of the resources. Thank you. Any questions? Because I'm going to start showing you actually the plants. Lights, please. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, please do. Cultivating Gardens is my Instagram page. And I will be presenting another workshop in October 20th, at the Cameron Stanford House by the lake on Lake Merritt in Oakland. And we'll be making actual plant nets and doing that hands-on and creating an apothecary. So I'll put that on my social media page if you want to follow that and possibly sign up. Should be interesting and fun. I like to touch and taste and smell. And we'll start with bee balm. I keep talking about bee balm. This is bee balm, dried. I dried it from the fresh plant. You saw the fresh, here's dried. Can you imagine? Just touch it and smell, and imagine making a tea from it. I plan on infusing some oil with it too. Have a look at it. What is this? This is the lemon. The actual bee balm is pretty tall. Take a leaf off if you like, and then you really find out. The memory comes back to you as far as that bergamot smell. Yeah. A little hint of lemon. I just want to put the lemon in it, but for me, I had to bring it with me today. That's the. Does it ring out memory for you? That's the bergamot. It creates this pretty one has a pretty purplish flower. Oregano, You want to put some chicken?
Yeah, it just makes me feel like I'm ready to cook something.
Yeah.
The same plant that I was trying.
That's that, yeah.
Can you have one big one for the morning and later?
That won't work too good. Because what happens is they'll probably end up cross-pollinating. Sometimes they do that, especially if they're the same family, like you got. I got a Thai basil, holy basil, and Italian basil, and this. Yeah.
What the same thing with oils, like we selected mixes?
Yeah.
Put some on every steak for a decent amount.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just imagine what you can do with that, the different plants. We're going to gather them all right there, so she don't have to run over there and get it. What does it remind you of? Or how does it make you feel? I forgot your name. Melissa, how does it make you feel? Because you were really... Yeah, I can imagine that too. Especially when you begin to learn the history of the plant and how it's used in your family or in your ancestry, I didn't try it in living balm, but I'll bring all these, pass around lemon balm. This is the one that's like really, you rub it. It's not that light, it's like mine. I don't have to turn it off. The lemon balm. I just took it from outside.
There's little, babies.
Preparing for the workshop. This was a lot smaller. Then I just said, well, I gotta wait. So it's been outside, just doing whatever I do, trapping. That one is really, you know the sign?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you don't even have to rub it. I just think of a bath, soap or something. What else do I have to share with you? There's time. This is the basil one. Wow. Okay, this is Mrs. Burns, the one who did a hybrid. I didn't bring the other than the basil. I'll just pass this one on. This is. I'm gonna look at myself. Lemon tea, I've just been doing tea when I've done it. Yeah, but you gotta be careful with the lemon balm. If you have issues with thyroid stuff, you gotta be careful with lemon balms. Something about that, how it affects you. Is another one? Oh, so sorry. So, I think you'd like to do a hands-on. And one thing I thought about you doing is to make a herbal bundle. And since it's just a few of you, we got enough. I was like, you never know how many people are gonna show up. How many of you have ever made a herbal bundle? What about making your own simmering pot? Okay. Okay. So what I brought to share, I bought some orange. We'll do the bundle. I bought some thyme. This is regular thyme. Sage. This is culinary sage. Rosemary. This is the one that gets me. It's kind of overpowering, kind of in my eyes and my nose. But I love it. I like it. I put it on my table. Yeah. I don't do. I don't eat meat, so I'm trying to get vegetables and stuff.
What's that one? That pot? What's that pot?
This one?
The one behind me. Yeah, what's that called? That's just a diffuser? Oh, it's just a diffuser.
And it has lemon oil in it, so you can do that. Have it on, calm down, create the Zen effect, if you will. And I bought some cinnamon. This is gonna be for when you do your simmer pot. Orange slices, lemons, and I bought some. This is kitchen twine. It's called, where you can make your bundle. And who's seen you done it before? You have. Okay, well, I'm gonna have you as my assistant. Okay. Oh, I forgot, I bought some bay. I have a bay tree in a kind of my mirror. Because I don't want it to be humongous, number one. The bay tree, if it gets rooted in the earth on my property, I probably have to move. It can get 25, 30 feet tall. No way. So I have it in a half line barrel and it's on a concrete, so it doesn't break through. Like my pomegranate tree broke through, I forgot about the roots. And then I tried to move it and it went through the barrel, the roots, and I couldn't move it. So it's huge. But it's not, the roots don't do like this. So I bought some cuttings from the bay, you take some leaves to make your simmering pot at home. So what you're gonna do is, I'm gonna pass these around and get a few sprays, each one. And for the little bundle, if you will, if you were to dry it, you hang it upside down to dry. And so, what I ended up buying, you know, the clothes, a folding clothes rack, you know, and then it has a wooden, right? So I just hang it from that with clothespins. So when I tie it and have it, you know, and just dry. The air can still circulate through, so it can dry this way here. And or recently I got a dehydrator, which makes it a lot easier. Where they lay flat, looks like a microwave, but it's a dehydrated air, and the temperature is very low. So I can dry my own fruit, herbs, or whatever, and then store them for later use. Especially when it's seasonal things.
In the sun or in the sun?
This is a dehydrator. So
I mean, I know you hide it, when you hang it on your poles, this is in the sun?
not direct sunlight.
Not direct sunlight, right, good.
Not direct sunlight. Yeah. So I just cut these this morning. I went out, so let me bring you some of the herbs just to show you. Assistant? Maybe I'll have you do this part. You give them all. Enough, just a small bundle. Okay. Yeah, you can still help me. She's cutting this straight. You're doing them all,
Don't count my measurement. Go by guessing, going by guessing.
You like rosemary? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will be selling it, okay? Give me the time. Right here, right? Give them some time. Especially since I invested in the dehydrator. This is rosemary. It's very, very potent. You like rosemary? My mother loves using casserole too. Put a casserole on it. I keep telling you to use that casserole. I said, I'm gonna use my one, okay? So, you know, let's have a conversation. Of course. This is time. You know, the bundle.
What are we gonna do with our bundle?
You will hang it at home somewhere and let it dry. Or if you want, you can just use it fresh. But you got it to take home with you. Okay? Oh, it's garden and dry your own herbs without paying all that money in the store. Do a little small, like this, which is what I did, because I didn't have any limited time. So I said, limited time. Matter of fact, I'll share my limited time. Assistant? Assistant, that's right. You give me some limited time.
Lemon something.
We're gonna do our bundles. Then after we do our bundles, we're gonna, what do you have? Still give you some limited time. There you go. And then this is regular time. You gotta have room, time on. This is for activity purposes, but most times when I do dry, I don't mix them together like we're doing today. I just have them all the same. You follow me? Like if I'm doing sage, the bundle's just sage. If I'm doing rosemary, like that. For our purposes. So you can take it home and use this if you want. And it really enhances your food, you make your tea, you'll know the source of where you're getting what you're putting in your body from when you grow your own. There's a lot of benefits to, and it's fun too, you know, you learn, and try new things that you might not normally been exposed to.
Do you use any of these for like the smudge cleansers in your space?
Do I do what?
Use like the herbs as like cleansers or smudging the face?
Smudging, yes, yes. Oh my gosh. I have one child, my son, he's grown, and he smudges to get, he burns, and sometimes he gets some strong sage. And I was like, what? Is that the sage I gave you, or is that something? So he's into doing that. It's a process of growth, you know, like, oh, let me try this, let me try that. So, yes, cleansing, negativity, go away, protection, all of that.
What is this one?
Can't see. Looks like
This
sage.
is the first one you
Looks like sage from here.
say.
Do you smell it, the sage? Yeah. Thyme. Yes, start thyme. So, what I usually do, I just take it and then I tie it on the bottom and I make a knot. And then I go wrapping it around and tie it and make sure it's sturdy, but you have enough left hanging so that you can hang it like so. Want me to help you? You want to do it? What method do you use to tie?
I wrap it entirely around just because it's gonna go in my bag and I don't want it to branch out and break.
So you're doing it like it's an actual stick.
Yeah.
She's doing like it's a smudge stick.
Yeah.
That's another way you can do it. The smudge stick, you're wrapping it all the way down. You follow me? And while this is cotton, so it'll burn if you want to burn it after it's dry. So there's nothing added to natural cotton. Yeah. But we'll just go all the way down. One other part that I forgot to tell you that you do. Because what's going to happen gonna get loose. So, rubber bands. Okay. So you use the rubber band first. Versus tying it by the stick. You don't have to use rubber band. If you tie it out, like a little scratch stick. If you choose to. Oh, so your choice, your choice. You don't have enough strings to go down like she's talking about. But you wanna, you give her a rubber band? Get loose. These rubber bands are old. They were given to me, they were loaned to me. It's hard to find rubber bands. Girl, I'm talking about this. I gotta buy some rubber bands. It's hard to find. But I need it, I can't find it. Oh, yes. Oh. Rigor on the therapy. Yours is nice. Yeah, I like how you tied it. No, look at this. Oh, fancy. So now what we're gonna do, you wanna make your own take-home, simmer pot ingredients? So, what I have, I see it now finally. This time we're gonna do, she's reminding me, where's your love?